Buddy Manning here. Welcome to a news edition of the Garden Report. More rumor and overhearing what might have happened previously in the offseason here. The Hall of Famer Marc Spears appeared on the Oregonian Sports Podcast talking the latest on Damian Lillard. But interestingly enough and worth noting, I believe, because I don't think someone like Spears would say this extemporaneously here, knowing that people like us will go and talk about it. We've heard, I believe, in spots this offseason about the Celtics' interest in Damian Lillard. Particularly in July, I believe Shams Charania reported it. And Spears, while noting that Lillard's intentions remain going to the Miami Heat, he even said he expects Lillard to end up on the Heat. He noted that Jayson Tatum's been in Lillard's ear. He's called him, and there's been recruitment here to Boston. Of course, that could happen independently from the front office. At this point, it'd be extremely difficult for the Celtics to pull off a trade for Lillard. And looking at it, if you don't want to give up Derek White, which I don't think you would here, and I don't even think the Blazers would want him, you probably have to part with Brogdon, Rob, Al, and Pritchard to make the money work here, which is a lot of depth. Now, maybe you make the argument that you have 4 stars, you're going to overpower any other team in the league at that point, but no backup point guard behind White and Lillard at that point. No backup center other than Luke Cornett behind Kristaps Porzingis at that point, and limited wing depth, which this team can sustain. They already are in many ways, but this seems like something that happened in the past to me. It is interesting, and I guess you should be happy to hear that Tatum's out there recruiting other stars, talking to other players, and trying to sell the Celtics to these players, both for Tatum's long-term standing with the team and for the improvement of Boston as a destination. Now, on the downside of this, Lillard does remain intent on going to Miami. This recruitment effort evidently didn't move him, especially following Chris Haynes when asked earlier this summer about Lillard potentially going to Boston. Haynes laughed and said it's not going to be Boston. So doesn't seem like there's any interest on Lillard's end. There's no real feasible way for this to happen on Boston's end, especially at this stage of the offseason, moving the roster around this substantially just a month before training camp, I think, doesn't make a ton of sense here. And even though Lillard going to Miami probably should scare you, given the Heat's recent success against the Celtics, that remains at a standstill here too. And you do wonder, as many reporters have speculated, whether Portland even wants to move Lillard at this point. This stalemate here might all be toward trying to convince him one more time to stay with the Trailblazers. So wouldn't expect a Celtics Trailblazers blockbuster anytime soon. Does Boston somehow get involved in a larger trade if it emerges? I guess that's worth watching, but highly doubtful in my mind that Lillard's going to end up with the Celtics. We are brought to you by Fanduel, fanduel.com/Boston right now, running their best offer since they became our official sports wagering partner. An unbelievable one entering football season. Just bet $5. Get $100 off NFL Sunday ticket through YouTube TV right now. You also get your $200 in bonus bets that we previously offered here for first-time users. An incredible offer. Just head to fanduel.com/Boston and deposit 10, bet 5. You'll get $100 off NFL Sunday ticket, present in mass, of course. FanDuel.com/Boston, and a partner of the NFL, and of course, our great official sports wagering partners here at CLNS Media and the Garden Report. Shout out as well to HelloFresh. HelloFresh running a great fall offer right now. HelloFresh.com/CLNS50. Use that code CLNS50 and you get 50% off and free shipping on their meal kits. It's America's #1 meal kit for a reason. prepackaged ingredients, laid out instructions, flexibility on your delivery dates and the different kinds of food you're getting. Tons and tons of options. It's cheaper than delivery, cheaper than going to the supermarket, and of course more convenient than all those too. And it makes cooking fun, which is important if you're not a fan of doing that. So that's HelloFresh.com/CLNS50. Again, use the code CLNS50 for 50% off and free shipping. That's the rumor of the day. Tatum, he's made some calls to Lillard. He's been in his ear this summer. Is that recent? Is that July? Is that June? It's tough to say. So we'll keep an eye on that, I guess. But for now, quite an August headline here. And of course, stay tuned for a live edition of the Garden Report this week. And training camp just a month away. I'm Bobby Manning. This has been the Garden Report.